Hey peeps, Emma here. Last week while doing some Valheim science, I was testing which activities in the game make noise and attract nearby creatures. Mining, chopping wood, running, jumping, fighting can all bring more creatures over, which is why a small problem can quickly turn into a much bigger one. Then while testing bombs, I noticed something that surprised me. Throwing a bomb does not seem to create any noise that creatures can hear. Creatures can still see you, and anything hit by the bomb will react, but the throw itself does not appear to create any gameplay noise. And that made blob bombs much more useful than I first thought, especially since you unlock stronger, stranger versions as you progress. So let's dive into some strategies that we can use to get away with more in Valheim. If you like videos like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can support your friendly neighborhood potato. Most people are at least familiar with normal bombs. You unlock the first weaponized bomb in the swamps and the second one in the mistlands. They are oozy bombs that create an area of effect cloud that lasts for about 10 seconds, and the more creatures are inside and the longer they stay there, the more value you get. Ooze bombs focus on poison, while bile bombs deal fire and poison damage within a radius of about 4 in-game meters. But these are no longer your only options. And no, I'm not talking about the other two bombs that you unlock in the Ashlands. More about those later. During the Bog Witch update, a whole new range of bottled blob bombs were added to the game. Bottled blobs, as you might have noticed, work slightly different from normal bombs. Instead of leaving a damage area on the ground, they leave a real creature into the world, without the use of any magic. If you've ever played as a mage in Valheim, you quickly learn two things. Let others fight your battles, and that not every creature you spawn is necessarily on your side. But since magic is unlocked so late in the game and requires specific foods and armor to be somewhat efficient, most people never really dive into the mage build, and this means blob bombs can be the perfect extra tool for anyone to use, not just mages. Now there are a couple of really important things to remember. Most of all, that the creatures released from these blob bombs are not friendly. They can still attack you, and whether they attack the other creatures around them depends on Valheim's faction system. This means that you cannot just throw any bottled blob in a group of creatures and expect them to fight for you. If the blob and the creatures you are fighting belong to the same faction, they may completely ignore each other and both come after you instead. Definitely if you try to use blob bombs during boss fights, cause bosses are a separate faction all by themselves, and blobs will just turn against you together with the boss. Now, tar blobs are part of the undead faction, and they are great against loxes, fuelings, berserkers. Just throw them far away enough from yourself into a group and they should cause chaos while you are left on the sideline to watch the show. And they also do wonders against vials at night too. The regular blob and oozer bombs are also part of the undead faction and are great for clearing out frost caves, since the enemies inside are weak to poison. Then we have frost blobs that are the mountain faction, so they slow the enemy down just like tar blobs or growths, but with less immediate danger if you step a little bit too close to them. Lava blobs are part of the demon faction, and it would probably be good to have some of these prepared for the deep north. One of my favorite examples is using blob bombs on the Verger outposts. In my testing, as long as the blob bomb does not hit a Verger, they can remain friendly while the released creature becomes the problem. A growth, for example, can start fighting the Verger while you stay at a distance and avoid becoming the main target, while they destroy everything, and even if they stay alive, you can run away with the loot. Some other good places to use any bomb, not just the blob bombs, are tight spaces like infested mines, mini-boss towers like the one in the plains, or even fueling villages. They are pretty great for crowd control in general, and since creatures released from blob bombs do not attack bosses, Normal bombs can be great during boss fights like the Queen, so you can use them against the spawn that she barfs out, or to soften up the Seekers that she summons, or to reduce the Queen's health so it doesn't quickly regenerate, since she is not resistant to poison. And as mentioned before, bombs are also great in frost caves, since elves and cultists are weak to poison damage, although bats are immune. By the way, be sure to let me know in the comments what your favorite type of bomb is and in what situation you like to use them. I'm sure you already start to know where I'm going with this. Bombs give you a way to create chaos without immediately starting the fight yourself. You still need to be careful where you stand and where you throw them, but they create some interesting possibilities, most of all in the echelons, and this might be the best example of why silent throws matter so much. There are often so many creatures nearby that one fight can quickly pull in several more creatures. If you're starting to get overrun, throwing a bottled blob between yourself and whatever is following you to create another target will give you a chance to run. Now, the throw itself might be silent, but once the blob starts fighting, that fight will create noise and could attract more creatures. The important difference is that the noise is now happening behind you rather than directly on top of you, so you have a chance to run away. And if you use this strategy, the most important thing to remember is that enemies will target whichever enemy is closest to them. They do not prioritize you over any other enemy. So if you can put another creature between yourself and them, they will choose the other enemy while you can run away to create some space. Finally, the basalt and smoke bombs. These two bombs sadly do not offer much damage, and they are more like creative solutions to issues that you might run into in the echelons. The basalt bombs create mushroom-shaped pedestals when thrown into lava, making it possible to reach flametal spires or to retrieve your grave after an unfortunate death. Smoke bombs, although they sound like the perfect tool for a ninja, sadly mostly exist to extinguish fires. You can use them to put out fires and save a wooden structure that might have been hit by fiery rain. Some people have never used bombs, even though they can control where a fight happens, keep creatures inside choke points, distract dangerous groups, or start fights between creatures while you stay out of the way. The main downside is that keeping a good supply of bombs can take a lot of materials, but luckily last week I made a video showing a strategy for cheesing Valheim events, using them to collect the rare resources that you often need to make these bombs. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to support your friendly neighborhood potato, and never forget, you are absolutely amazing. Dag hè.